Alrighty, I think today we will get going again, probably focus on these areas under here. I don't really quite feel like reaching too far over there. I still haven't felt like untaping the paper and removing it and making it more easy, so. Alright. Get some music going real quick. Alright, so we had just finished up this. We'll go ahead and zoom in over here. Kind of do this, and then we'll do this. That's the problem here. Alrighty. Everything is going. Alrighty. First thing we'll do is just demarcate it. I think we'll use our nice dark green. Kind of goes up here and then crosses in this direction. Then up over here. And then right over here. Let's see. Alright, and then this. And then this other one kind of overlaps, comes over here. Alright, so it looks like there's a little black right underneath here. Kind of coming like this. Alright. So it looks like we actually have a pretty well defined sort of stripe right along here. Alright, let's draw whatever little structures we see. Look like we've got this little line kind of coming up here. Okay. There's really not much to this. Just kind of a Alright, so let's take our dark olive color, the one we were just using. Well, let's take out some of these grid lines. There we go. Alright, now let's just kind of right here. Apologize, I tend to vocalize when I'm listening to music, and I'm actually, most days when I'm doing this, struggling to keep quiet. Alright, so let's just kind of go in. Just put in this as a background. And you could see it's probably doesn't quite have a green quality we want, but you know, we can always add to it, which is kind of, and this kind of reminds me, I need to go back over this thing and give it a little, some character that I didn't quite able to give it the first time around. Alright, so then let's take our lighter olive green and almost kind of, it's almost like there's layers on these. And this comes, well, there's this kind of light spot there we'll avoid. Just kind of go on the outside of that. Alright, let's maybe put a little, no, let's take the lighter one. Take the lighter one and kind of just do a background. I seem to recall saying it was easy to erase these splotches, and we need to do that. And you can see they come off pretty easily. Alright, let's just kind of go over all this. Kind of make it a little darker where it looks like it is darker. Okay. And then on the last layer we're going to do our lightest green. Well, we don't need to get the dust just yet. Let's go on here. Our nice pretty light green yellow. And I went into the black there, and that was a mistake. And there's a fair amount of this kind of in here. Alright, let's vacuum. Okay. Jesus. Alright, let's smudge it a little bit. Let's smudge it just a bit, and then we'll come back over it with some green and then something to make it all just a little darker. So let's use this one, because this is the one we had been using, and we'll just scrape some off of it with finger and see what this does. That's not working. No good. Let's try this. sometimes you do stuff and you just feel like you totally screwed it up. And that's kind of what I feel right now. But we can fix it. Let's see what this one does. This sort of slightly lighter green spots this up a little bit. Let's make each layer a little darker than it was originally. So we'll make this darker olive, that middle kind of layer. And then this one, cover up all that white. Let's go ahead and I think I've got a new idea for these light green areas I keep using. Let's use this one and then we'll put white on top of that and see how that works. Let's smudge some of this. Not so sure, honestly. Let's go over that with white. Well, let's kind of whiten up this outer edge because it's not really supposed to look yellow. It's supposed to look kind of that white and green, although that is kind of not quite working. Not quite working. Let's see what we can do here. Let's kind of accentuate this thing a little bit. Take some of this one, this green chalk, and just kind of splotch it on top of here. Where's that darker one? I don't know if that's darker or not. Kind of just splotch some of this in there, just a bit. Kind of all the way up to the edge. Alright, we may need to put a minuscule amount of soften up that a bit. It looks a little too contrasting in camera, maybe. Alright, let's put a little black in here. This all needs to be a little darker, I think. And then maybe just a tiny bit on this. Okay. Let's try to soften that just a bit. Maybe let us go over this area with a little more of this brightish green yellow. I think we need a little bit more of that, just kind of in here. Not so much here. Alright, we definitely want to soften this edge, and we need to darken all of this. Except right there. But all of this needs to get a little darker. That black just seems to be too thin and well demarcated going around here. Alright, where? Well, let's vacuum. Alright, now let's kind of pull the black just a little bit to the left. Just kind of make that border a little more fuzzy. Still think we just need something in here to make this darker, but we'll maybe let's see something here. Let's get this. All right. Let's put a little more of this darker one kind of in here. There's sort of this patch that kind of comes right up against this light area. Kind of goes like that. vacuum up. Let's try something here for a sec. Let's just kind of erase this thing to kind of make sure it's light enough. And let's just use this light colored green to kind of. Alright, let's put some white on that. Just to kind of soften it. Okay. Maybe just a tiny. Let's try to lighten up this edge over here just a little bit one more time. Okay. Alright, I'm not sure, you know, regardless, you don't want to spend too much time on anything. Maybe it looks like crap at first, but you kind of get used to it after you move on. Alright, now let's go ahead and try to do this. This is kind of an odd looking. It's gonna be a little tricky, but let's. Looks like we'll just complete the whole contour of this thing, starting from here. So this is gonna have to turn this way. Alright, let's use black since it's mostly black under there. Okay, kind of coming like this. And then we'll curve up to here. Okay, and then over here, we'll follow the lower edge first. Let's use the dark green, just the lower edge to about here. Okay, and then there's another contour we're gonna kind of create. Let's use our dark olive green. Kind of start here. Just kind of follow this in a straight line. and then slightly curve up to here. Over here we can use our, switch over to black. Maybe should have done dark green, but who cares? Okay. And then we'll just kind of make another, just right underneath it, kind of, and then it tapers out away, kind of fans out like that. Okay. Okay, now let's go here, and we'll just start right over here, and we'll do the top part of this. So right there. Yeah, right here. I'll just come up. And then we'll use our dark green. And then switch to black right here. Alright, we'll come down to about here. And you know, this is not an exactly smooth contour, but it kind of is. There is some character to it, kind of bumps. So let's kind of make it just a little wavy. Okay, then kind of come up. Okay, let's come over here. Okay. Well, I guess we're trying to crash into that spot. Let's use this dark olive. Okay. Need to sharpen this one. Okay, so we'll just focus underneath here. Don't need to mess with this thing yet. We're just gonna do let me go and sharpen this one since I'm gonna need it. Okay, let us kind of do a real light demarcating of this blacker area in the middle. Take the black, and it just kind of come in. We're not gonna be very hard with it. We're just gonna kind of come in. And then over here, kind of does like that. And then kind of just goes, got this sort of curved. And we're being real light with this. And then you can see there's this sort of dark green. But then it does continue over this way and kind of like this. We'll just kind of smudge this in kind of like this. Kind of. Okay. It's kind of got this don't need to worry about the gray lines when you're doing this dark over it. Okay, so let's just put a few little areas where there's these black smudges. Right here, there's one kind of right in here. And then right here, we kind of come across just a little bit. Alright. Alright, now let's go over here. Let's just kind of demarcate some of these things. There's this sort of dark brown. Right here. Let's just kind of figure out where we're gonna be. Alright, so you can see up here we've got a fair amount of this. We're gonna just start on the outside and kind of put this sort of little rind of dark green kind of coming off of the edge onto this leaf, I guess. And then it gets pretty thick over here. And kind of comes off. Okay. Then you've got this sort of dark kind of whatever that is, I don't know. Okay. Then you've got another one kind of right here. Now let's take this just a little bit more, this dark green. Then you can see over here, you start getting this sort of, that dark olive green kind of just and then just kind of goes over here and then it kind of comes off the edge and forms like a stripe, kind of irregular. It goes right behind there. Okay, now over here you kind of get this sort of thing, then another kind of stripe that goes up, kind of goes right there like that. Okay, let's put over here, we've kind of got just a couple of dark green little squiggly thing. We'll kind of do 2 of them just to say we did it. And then there's one more edge that kind of comes, kind of goes like that. This thing kind of goes like this. And then looks like we've got some more. Starting about here, you've got this really olive kind of just coming in off the edge. Okay. Now let's take a dark blue. Well, let's use it. Right here, I've got this kind of, I mean, I don't have any idea what produced this color. It must be some sort of maybe reflection in the camera. Probably not worth playing with, but and then got this little okay. Now let's kind of demarcate the furthermost aspect of the real dark black along this side. Kind of comes up here. So we could safely just really make it very black inside of there and not lose anything. Let's put a little more, got some black up here, kind of forming little lines. Alright, I think now we can maybe take all the grids out of here and here, maybe leave them there even though I don't think we need to. Alright, let's take them out over here. Well, let's do one thing. Let's just put in this sort of bright thing, whatever that is. Just put that in there so we'll know where it is. Even though we could just make this totally black, we are going to try to put a little green in there because it's in there. Although You can barely see it. Never done a drawing where most of my erasing or eraser battery is used on grid lines. Alright, let's clean up all that. Alright, sorry, I was getting a text. Okay, let's put just not sure if it's gonna make a difference and what the fastest way to do it. I know what we'll do. We'll put a bunch of black and then we'll put the green on top of it. Okay, let's do that. Let's put, I guess, one of these. Put some here. Now you can see, we're just going to smudge all this in. And it's a little tricky to try and maintain the blue without coming right up to it with the black. But we'll figure it out. Probably just draw it in. I feel like on my last big pastel, I was having trouble with the blue. Like it wasn't the right quality or something, but like this one, I guess maybe I wasn't using the pencils. I was using a chalk or something. This one comes out nice. Put that on there. Just kind of leave it. This is the darker one. Put this lighter one right here. And I think we need a little more black to really cover this middle part. And actually even the top. It's really just along the outer rim where it really has green that you can actually see without using a microscope. So you just kind of use this. Now let us vacuum. Now let's use a pencil. Just kind of fill all this in. We don't want any white left over in this spot. So we gotta cover it all. You have to cover the white. I don't know how people do it with paper that actually has tooth. Guess you really can't. I don't know. I've never tried it. Let's get this. Now, I just almost made a big mistake of trying to blow away black dust. And that is something you cannot do. Okay, let's come in this one. Come over here with our, maybe let's use the lighter olive green and then we'll make it darker. Just kind of come in here. And as you can see, it sort of streaks left and right into. And we'll achieve that effect on the left side by pulling the black into it. But you can see this is going to be tricky because you do not want any white showing in through any of this, anywhere in this whole spot we're doing. So you have to push hard, fill in. And it's going to be the black smudging that gives this sort of character that we're going to want. Kind of this. But I don't know if we're quite going to get done tonight because I got to go take care of something. Okay, now. Let's vacuum up all that mess. Vacuum that. Now let's take this sort of green chalk and just kind of come on top of here. Alright, now let's try to make some effort to fill in this black kind of soft black area that kind of comes through here, but it needs to be, I mean, it has to be completely black or green. So we're gonna we're just gonna have to smudge pretty hard here, but it looks like we've got, it's definitely in the center. You want it to be solid black, so you kind of have to push hard where it counts. Okay, let's see if we can get, okay, right here. Kind of really try to get rid of the white, and then maybe we should let's just see, we've kind of got, so on top of this area where we kind of get this wedge of black. Shit. Oh my gosh, I just blew a bunch of black dust everywhere. Terrible. Alright, enough of the grid lines. Well, I swear drawing can be so annoying sometimes. But I must enjoy it to some degree. Alright, all that's gotta go. Okay, now you can see over here we've got the dark. Alright, let's just kind of demarcate a slightly darker rim that kind of comes up through here, and then actually we should have done this earlier. We got this sort of, we kind of got these just like wavy lines that kind of demarcate layers. Okay. And then kind of inside of this, almost got another one. Just kind of still, man, they ain't got to be perfect because it's not going to be perfect. And that's just something to remember. And it don't need to be. It doesn't, you don't accomplish. Alright. So we'll kind of, alright. I know what we'll do. Alright, let's take the dark olive. And we're just going to kind of fill in most of this. Not all of it. And we'll be a little lighter over here because it kind of merges into this greener shade. But let's just fill all this in sort of aggressively against the black over here. And obviously we're going to add a lot more black to all of this. So then, as these layers become lighter, we switch colors to this sort of lighter olive green. And let's put this, the light one on the outside. Right here, it's kind of let's try to accentuate some of these. Alright, let's throw in some of this green down in here. And honestly in here as well. Kind of just okay. Now we're gonna smudge this and see where we're at, but I know right now it probably looks like crap. Let's get this going here. Alright, and we'll bring the black into it, kind of like this. And that helps get rid of the white. I kind of push some of those smudges in pretty hard. Right here. And then over here, okay, we need to blacken this top. Let's smudge all this in and just see where it gets us. Alright, I think we're gonna just kind of overlay all of this, make it a little darker. It needs to be less conspicuous. I think that actually looks better on the camera than it does, and than it actually does, but I'm not sure. Let's take this one. This one we haven't used much. Let's just see. And it's just so odd. It's like you have to have this green on top of black, and it's just most importantly, you can't have white in it, and it just becomes tricky. But we're gonna go and just kind of add some more black just in here, kind of right in there. Come up out here. This whole area needs to be let's kind of just go back over this with this slightly darker one. Vacuum all this. Alright, more smudging. Alright, let's use clean finger and kind of just smudge this in, and you can see it's definitely not coming out quite the way you want it. Let's take, I think we need a little more of this olive, just kind of in this whole area. And then up to this sort of wavy edges. But we definitely need more of it, just covering this. And then you can see it kind of lightens up and then darkens again. Let's see something here. We kind of need to lighten up. Where's our white? I tell you, I am doing The absolute worst job I've ever done of keeping track of pencils. Where? There it is. Right in front of my face. Okay, let's do something here. Just kind of make this a little less green. And kind of come up in these sort of supposedly these lighter areas and just kind of lighten up some of these. This spot needs to be, honestly, it needs a little of this and then white on top of it. Well, let's see something here. Definitely think we need to let's take a, I don't think this is gonna work. Let's take a clean blending stump to kind of just soften this dark green edge by pulling it in just a bit. And just cut. Alright, well, done or not, we have to stop for today. So next time